Hi, I'm Yelena with Yelena's Tidy Corner. I am so excited that you have found my video. I am a stay-at-home mom of 3, ages 8, 6, and 1.5-ish. We are a busy household, so there's a lot going on all the time. In this video, you will see me clean out my pantry because over the holidays, it has gotten absolutely horrific. And then I repurposed 2 drawers behind me just so my kitchen functions better for the needs that we have right now. And I will show you just clean up after taking everything out of my pantry and just resetting my kitchen so it's nice and clean for the next morning. I am so glad that you're here, and if you consider subscribing, liking, or even leaving a comment, that would be so great to help my channel grow. Thanks so much, and here goes.
Okay, so this is what my pantry looks like at the moment. As you can see, it has gotten pretty bad, especially the bottom. So I did go ahead and clean it out so that I can actually walk in it. That already feels much better. This pantry is actually pretty small. I was so excited when we built our home to get a pantry at all, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but it is kind of small and I wish we would have made it bigger. But I also acknowledge that a lot of people don't even have one. So I just have to do a better job of storing less things in there and have specific designated spots for each item and not throw everything in there that I want out of sight. Part of me wants to make this pantry like Instagram worthy with all the containers and all the pretty things, but I also know that that is a lot of work and it's not functional all the time. And everyone's kitchens are starting to look the same. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all the people look the same, all the houses look the same, all of the decor looks the same, and I think it's such an influence culture. And if you're into that, that's awesome. I love watching that as well, but here it is not like that. And so if you enjoy that as well, then welcome. I think I want to see more of individuality in people again. See what people like and not everything be exactly like somebody else has. And so I think 2025 might bring some of that back. What do you guys think? So I'm making pretty good progress on taking stuff out of the shelves and just putting everything around my kitchen so that I can wipe the shelves down and kind of think about where I want things back in order. But honestly, my kitchen is looking awful now because everything is everywhere and kids at this point are asking for dinner and my counter is completely covered with stuff I took out of the pantry. So this is going to be so interesting. I guess it has to get worse before it can get better. Also, starting to clean out your pantry at 7 p.m. do not recommend after a long busy day. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Do not start a project like this late at night around bedtime. It is not fun. Okay, so this is how far I have gotten, and so these shelves are nice and empty, and I am going to go ahead and wipe them. This shelf I actually organized prior to Christmas, and look how nice that looks. Nice and neat. So here I am just wiping down my shelves before I start putting things back in. If you watched my very first video, I talked a little bit about 2025 being the year that I take chances and step out of my comfort zone. And so I'm curious, are there any things you are doing this year that are a little scary, something that's out of your comfort zone? I'd be super curious to know what they are. So I took a little bit of break and fed my kids, and now it's bedtime, but I wanted to put some of the things back in the pantry so I have a little more room to work with. And funny story, I did set up this shelf, but then I ended up changing it around, I think like midnight. I didn't like it there, and I figured I was going to use a different shelf for all of my flour and sugar and baking needs. And that actually worked out better, so I'll show it to you in the end. But I did start organizing this way. And I will say there are a lot of parts of this missing because, well, 1, I am new to this, and 2, I was pretty tired and it was late at night, and 3, moving the camera angles around is a lot of work. So if you see someone who does cleaning videos and their videos are super nice, well lit and everything. It is a lot of work. So this is the state of my kitchen at the moment. It is pretty late and I am starting to feel super overwhelmed. I totally wanted to give up, but give up I could not because we need that counter to eat breakfast the next morning. So I kept on plugging away, and as you can see, I did move my flour stuff to the bigger shelf, and I think that worked out better. I do struggle storing all of this glass containerware. I think I just have too much, or maybe I don't use it enough and not enough of it goes in the fridge, but it takes a lot of space in my pantry. So this is the next morning. I sent the kids to school and I am just hanging out with my toddler, who is not happy and does not want me to be doing anything. So I'm trying to entertain him while I want to do a little bit of dishes and clean off that counter the rest of the way. My husband was taking kids to choir practice at our church, and so at this point I am alone at home and I am really speed cleaning everything that needs to be done, because even though you deep clean, the rest of the house still needs cleaning. You still have to feed, cook, and do all those things in between, and it gets so messy. And there were so many dishes. I don't know about you guys and how big your families are. We are a family of 5, 2 adults, 3 kids, obviously, and I have to run my dishwasher twice every day, and I still have a ton of dishes. Maybe I just cook too much. At this point, I am starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel for dishes, which is making me so excited because I am so tired of dishes. But on the other hand, it's such a treat to be able to clean in peace and quiet with no kids around and just no interruptions. Okay, so here is the overview of my pantry. I did not get to those parts yet, but I will soon. But the rest of it looks so much more organized and together and has some kind of cohesion going on. And I am just so excited to be able to walk into my pantry again. I absolutely love a clean floor, but I do have kids, and so it's a rare occasion for us to have a kitchen floor that doesn't have some kind of crumbs or something on the floor. And even after I cleaned that, kids came back from choir practice and there were crumbs on the floor again because obviously they had to have dinner. And so that is just mom life. And even though being a mom is not an easy thing to do, and especially being a stay-at-home mom, that is a lot of hard work, emotionally, physically, all of it. But I am so thankful that I have my 3 kids and that I get to be a stay-at-home mom and that I get to be here for them when they go to school, when they come back from school, and it is just such a blessing. And so I will wash these floors, I will pick up the crumbs, I will do all of it just so that my kids have a happy, safe, clean childhood where they are loved and cared for. Don't get me wrong, I am not dissing on working moms at all. I was a working mom. When my daughter was 8 months old, I had to go back to work, and I spent 3 years working, and that came with their own challenges and mom guilt, and I miss so much. And so that is why I am so thankful, because I have gotten a chance to be both. And at this point in my life, I appreciate being able to stay at home. I remember that when she was about 11 months old, she was already walking. When it was about time for me to be coming home, it's almost like she felt it. She would stand by our glass door with her head pressed against it, and she would wait for me to come home. And that was just so sad and heartbreaking. And when she got old enough to talk, she would always say, "Mommy, can you please not go to work today?" And it was like every day she would beg me not to go back to work. And even though I absolutely loved my job, I am so glad that we were able to make the decision for me to stay home, and I am enjoying it so much, and so are my kids. Okay, so here is the end result. Oh my goodness, this feels so good, and it was totally worth it. Look how nice and sparkly and clean it is. This is what it's all for, to wake up in the morning to a kitchen that looks like this. Let's take one more look at my pantry. I know I didn't get to the top shelves, but I will soon. But this does look so much better, and I can actually walk into it. If you are still here in the video watching, thank you so much. I would really appreciate a like or a comment, or if you would consider subscribing, that would mean so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.